Hi, and welcome to Thinking in the Cloud. I'm Eric McGarity, your host, and today I have Lance and Dax joining me. So, gentlemen, you're both founders of the company. You brought it a long way. I really love speaking to founders, and I think you guys have a special perspective on the business, the then and the now.
We're also brothers. I'm the younger one.
And that brings a whole new dynamic too, right?
Sure.
So tell me about the then and now. How did you guys originally start vArida, and then now how has it become vArida?
Yeah, we started vArida 16 years ago as a value-added reseller in professional services and managed services. We did that, and we did it well and successfully for a very long time, and then here comes the cloud spawns, and we, like a lot of partners out there today and competitors, we were reselling AWS services, but we thought, there's got to be a better way. Why not have our own? Mm-hmm. And Dax being the engineer, and with great engineers surrounded by him at the company, we decided, let's build vArida.
Yep. So basically, yeah, and at the same time, we ran into a lot of small business owners who were tired of buying new servers every 4, 5, 6 years. So, and they were asking me, why do we got to do this? But, your AWS and your other cloud providers aren't necessarily the nicest people to work with, right? Mm-hmm. And they're not that simple, and you get yourself in trouble, and then, your billing scales out of control. So we decided to build a cloud that was more scoped to provide like a concierge type service to our clients.
Right.
So it's easy to get in. You've got our team that can help you build that out, and it's pretty seamless and make your life a lot easier, and budgeting much easier as well.
Well, that kind of leads me to my next thought, Dax. And when I'm thinking about moving into the cloud, one of the things that I think scares a lot of small, mid-sized enterprises particularly is, what is this going to cost, right? And there's no transparency in AWS and Azure, and
That's a very good point, and as it should scare them because they're sold that come to the cloud. Here's the cost. It's simple, and then here comes the hidden cost of, hey, can I get into the cloud? Do I have the expertise? And here comes heavy consultant fees from an outside organization or through that provider that they probably weren't budgeted for and prepared for. So we wanted to change that, and we wrap our services around it and help them.
Correct.
So,
and the other thing is, you're going to a dashboard, picking how many processors you need, how much memory you need. And a lot of these people are business owners, so we basically give them the power to do their job and what they're successful at, and we take over, doing their IT work, right? And taking care of the cloud for them.
Yeah, I give you a personal story. We were working on an application, and my developer at the time said, oh, well, let's do it in AWS, and we spun up some servers. And just like you mentioned a second ago, we kept having to throw more resources into it. And before you knew it, it literally was 10x what he had originally told me it was going to cost on a monthly basis. And it just blew my mind how quickly it ballooned out of control. And that's what I like about the transparency and simple billing that vArida brings to the table.
Mm-hmm.
100%. As we started rolling out vArida, we saw more and more of that, and I was surprised at not just the amount of new onboarding we were doing, but taking people out of clouds and putting them into vArida for that very same reason.
So what are some of the business challenges that vArida actually solves?
I think a lot of it is, there's a lot of things out there. There's budgeting, right out of the gate, so right. You don't have to worry about, oh, I lost a hard drive in my server, or my power supply's out, or physical type issues. Another thing that we hear from a lot of clients is, if their local internet goes out at their office, well, they can send people and they can work from home without a problem, because we built vArida on all best practices, best equipment, right? We've got dual power grids from 2 cities. We've got multiple internet providers, everything in our stack. So it solves those type of environmental issues.
So even if I'm here in Dallas and the power goes out and it's a citywide brownout, I can still get back to the cloud.
You can still work as long as you can get some internet from somewhere, right?
Yeah.
You can work from Starbucks, right? So there's also environmental issues that you don't think about. You don't need a server room anymore, right? Mm-hmm. You don't need to worry about your air conditioning and cooling a specific room. You don't have to worry about updates or BIOS patches, any of those type of things that would take your business down, because we take care of all that for you on the back end.
Well, and I suppose it might even save me on some staffing cost.
Correct. It would save you on staffing. You don't have to hire. And that's what makes vArida such a nice, attractive thing, because you're not dealing with Microsoft, who I can open a ticket and I hope I get a call back in 4 hours. You're calling someone here locally that is going to be there and knows your environment.
Right, right.
Yep.
Lance, what are you seeing in the market today as you approach business owners and executives and start talking to them about cloud computing versus premise? What are some of the questions they're asking you?
A lot of the questions is how do I get to the cloud? Obviously, I'm tired of being in the hardware business.
Is that a challenge to get into the cloud?
It absolutely is. I mean, these folks have spent a considerable amount of money, a large amount of money, depending on the size of the client, on hardware, and they've done that model for the last probably however long they've been in business. So now, what are we going to do with all this equipment? Is this wasted money? Where, you know, cloud it's an insurance policy as well. It's disaster recovery. It's as many services as you need, stacked in there, rolled in there together, one throat to choke. So, but you know, it's an investment up front with the return later, because no more $100,000 SANs and server refreshes and all these different things. So it's just the way of the future.
How
It's
do you
not going
solve
anywhere.
that challenge then? Do you offer a scaled approach, or is it really all or nothing?
Yes, we do. We can phase it out in more of a hybrid approach, hybrid cloud approach, and take it in bites depending on what their needs are. A lot of times we find they're already there, you know, in another providers, and so can we complement the service, and maybe they only need bits and pieces of all the offerings that we have. So
Yeah, well, so we do have a lot of clients who, for instance, there's a lot of like QuickBooks Online, right? And different online packages, or their CRM is online. But they still need file services, they still need print, they still need Active Directory. So we can provide those services for them in our cloud. And also we've had a lot of success where people are concerned about their applications that may be too much of a fat client, pass too much data. But lately we've been spinning up with the new 2019 Microsoft RDS solutions. We've been spinning up farms, so we're having no problems running published applications where it's just like they're at their desktop. So a lot of those things have gone away since we've started vArida and built it up. A lot of those hindrances that may keep someone going to the cloud. So that's why really our best is just let us look at your environment, let us talk through your business and how you're operating, and see what we can do to take care of your IT needs.
also the spends with licensing, Microsoft licensing, VMware licensing.
Gone.
Our vArida is built on best in class, so we take care of that for you. We can rent you that licensing.
Really?
It's built on HPE and Cisco and VMware and Veeam and all the.
You don't have to buy a $20,000 SQL license. You pay a monthly, what's called SPLA licensing from Microsoft. That's part of your monthly bill that you get every month.
Wow, wow. Yeah, I mean, what I'm hearing from you is you're really eliminating a lot of CapEx expense and making it something that's a lot easier to swallow and part of my operational expenses.
Yes, sir.
The other thing is it's scalable with the licensing as well. So if your business goes from 50 users down to 20 or goes from 50 up to 100, your bill just fluctuates on a monthly basis based on that, which is really nice, right? So
Significantly better than trying to argue with Uncle Sam about how to take my depreciations.
and you can throw away your Microsoft audit letters that show up, right? Because
That's
you don't have to
right.
worry about that
Yep.
anymore.
But it's a huge point. We see this scale all the time. Yeah, we do. We see it.
Well, I think that's what a lot of businesses are looking for is flexibility, right? They're looking for flexibility in cost. They're looking for flexibility in where they work. I think a modern workforce is moving for more of a decentralized workforce, and having cloud-based applications makes it a lot easier for employees to access information from wherever they are.
Correct.
Well, gentlemen, it's been a real pleasure. As I said at the beginning, I think for me, it's always a pleasure to talk to founders who have really grown a business over 16 years and have been successful at making it scale and now adding new services on.
I appreciate that.
Yep.
It's always
Yeah,
good
thanks.
sitting with you and my older brother. I always point that out.
Well, thanks so much. We'll see you next time on Thinking in the Cloud.